Let's get started. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to toggle back and forth between a presentation and follow-up boss. So today we're talking about team inboxes in follow-up boss. For those who are not familiar with what a team inbox is, it's a place where all of your incoming calls or text messages or emails, which I'll show you in a second, can go, where you can have a shared space where not only you can access those incoming calls, voicemails, text messages, or emails, but you can also have other team members access that inbox and follow boss so that you have more availability within your team so that you have a faster response or more availability to take incoming calls. So first I'm going to show you how to create a team inbox in follow boss if you have not already done so. Please note you can only create a team inbox if you have more than one user in follow boss, and it's really only advantageous to use a team inbox if you have the follow-up boss dialer. So to have or to ensure you have the follow-up boss dialer, in the top right corner of follow-up boss, where either your initials are or your picture, you'll go to my settings. And if you have the lowest tier plan of follow-up boss, it'll be called grow, or actually not settings, you'll go to billing. And you'll just want to ensure that if you have the grow plan that you add on the dialer, and it would be here under calling. Now, in this case, I have the platform plan, so it's included in my plan. But if you have grow, it's not, and you'll want to add it on. And so with the dialer, you are given the option to pay per phone number, essentially, or pay per user. So to create a team inbox, you'll go to the inbox section in follow boss and then click on manage on the bottom left corner. It's grayed out, so it's a little bit easy to miss, but if you see where my cursor is very large on the bottom left corner, that's where you'll see it. This is where you can see the existing phone numbers, if any, that you have. As a default, whenever you have more than one user and you have the dialer, you get a default company number. You get a default team inbox number, and then I've created my own inbox for my own personal inbox, which I'll show you towards the end of this call. So you can use the team inbox for one of the examples I'm showing you if you're not using it already for something dedicated. But if you want to create a brand new one, you just create this new team inbox blue button here, and you can call it whatever you would like. I recommend calling the team inbox whatever it is you're going to use it for. So if you're going to use this team inbox for incoming calls from sign writers or from sign calls on listings, then I would make that the inbox name. The reason for that is if you're on the go and you're getting incoming calls on your mobile phone from the follow boss team inbox, then the caller ID that shows up is the name of the inbox. So that way you know, okay, this incoming call shows sign calls. So I know that this call is coming from a sign writer, but I have another inbox that is for MLS calls. So I'm going to let my assistant take that. So it's not as important. That way too, if you need to know whether or not you need to prioritize a call, if you're a team leader, you know, I don't need to prioritize that one. I'll let my assistant take that call. You have the option to select the area code if it's available. So I can search to see if 214 is available. It's most likely not, but we'll see. Okay. No, it's not available. So I can just search and see if there are any area codes available in my area till I can find one that I want. And then you can see what city it's specifically connected to, and you can select it. Then underneath, you can select what team members have access to this inbox. So I could select that I want Angie, and I would like my other salespeople, Rebecca and Tomas, to have access to it. And then the reason there's an X button next to Rebecca's name is because she has not added her mobile number in her settings. So that's something to be aware of, is if you want someone's mobile number to ring, then in their settings in follow boss, which is one of the first or maybe the very first session I did with Coaching Collective. Be sure to watch that video if you have not in the library. Make sure that that agent gets their settings set up properly for the mobile number. If you want their mobile number to ring, which most likely the answer is yes, because agents are not on their desktop all day. But here's where you select whether you want their computer to ring, if they're at their computer, plus their mobile number to ring. I highly recommend selecting the press 1 to answer option. What this does is when an agent's mobile phone rings, when they answer the call, when they pick up the phone to answer it, Follow Boss is going to have an automated message that says press 1 to answer the call. When they press 1, then it answers the phone call. If you do not have this option selected, what happens is if Tomas decides to decline the call on his mobile number because he's just trying to get it to become silent, then it declines the call for everyone and the person's phone call gets declined. And you definitely don't want that to happen. So make sure best practice there is to enable the press 1 to answer. You can enable do not disturb temporarily if you'd like. I usually don't mess with that. You can adjust your office hours, where after you set up your team inbox, you can set up office hours, where if it's outside office hours, you can just have it go to the inbox voicemail or forward to one specific phone number. And then if there's no answer, where would you like it to go? Would you like to go to a voicemail that you set up for the inbox or forwarding to one specific phone number? And as I mentioned, you can connect it to a specific email address for a shared email inbox after you create the team inbox, which I'll show you a little bit. And then you can click Save to create. I'm not going to really create one here because I already have a team inbox that I want created. So that's a very quick and dirty way or easy way explanation for creating a team inbox. I'm going to go back to sharing this screen here. I'm now going to show you some use case. Well, okay, I'm going to go back to sharing this really quick just for showing you how it works. So now that you have an inbox set up, it looks like this. We have, whenever you get an incoming call, text, or voicemail, whatever it is, it'll look like this. We have a voicemail for today that needs to be looked at from this lead here from Scout. And since multiple people have access to this team inbox, whenever this phone number is called, it's more likely that this person will get responded to more immediately. So someone's requesting a call back. And that's what it looks like. And what's nice is Follow Boss will create an automated transcription from the voicemail that you receive. And once you close out something in the team inbox, just like I show in, I believe in one of my first sessions, once you close it, it goes into the closed section in Follow Boss for the closed here. So we have all of our previous texts and calls in our closed inbox. And then same goes for my inbox, which will be one of our last use cases here. I've turned my personal follow-up boss number, my personal email as well into a team inbox to have other team members help me manage my inbox. Okay, so I'll explain more about that a little bit later. So now let's go into use cases. I've got a total of 9 here. So first is Google LSA. That stands for Google Local Services Ads. So what this is if you're not familiar, if you Google yourself, you just search for realtor in South Lake. Let me share this really fast. If I just search for a realtor in South Lake on Google, you'll see the sponsored section here, Google screened. That's Google Local Services. And then below you'll see sponsored ads. And then this is Google My Business, which I'll show in a second. But this specifically is Google Local Services. And when you click Get Phone Number to Call, you can, whenever you create a Google Local Services page, you only pay whenever you get a phone call. You don't pay to be listed there. You get paid to get a phone when you get a phone call. You can designate a team inbox so that when you get an incoming phone call, one, when you see on the caller ID, you can designate for the caller ID to say Google local services. But two, you can have a team inbox set up so that multiple agents can receive the incoming call, so that you have a higher likelihood to get a high answer rate, because Google grades you on your answer rate. And if you don't answer often or all of the time, they're going to knock you down. In this case, I'm only seeing 2 agents. I used to see 3 here. So if you're not answering every time, you're going to get knocked down very fast, because a lot of agents now know about Google local services. So the competition is very cutthroat now. If you're not answering often, you're not going to be one of the 2. So this is just a standard screenshot there of showing that you can change that phone number, and showing, again, a static image of that team inbox I had shown you how to set up there. And once you set it up, you can change the team inbox caller ID for the mobile, and then in your inbox section follow-up boss, it would show Google LSA for anything in your inbox. 2 is the Google business profile. So scrolling back down on this screen share here, that's what this section is, Google business profile. Whenever you search, it's on the Google Maps search. And this is also getting ranked based on a number of factors, based on your reviews, based on your activity on Google business profile, like your posts and your activity with your responses to reviews, and things of that nature. So you want to possibly either use the same phone number you're using for Google local services, or possibly another one for this. 3, I had shown previously, sign calls. You can designate a specific phone number for that. 4 is media. So you can have a specific phone number for a team inbox for a radio ad if you do that, or if someone calls the inbox, they are a buyer, or if you run an ad about services for staging, or on the TV, or on a billboard, you just know specifically where they're coming from and why. You can say this team inbox is for a TV, this team inbox is from the billboard. I've seen some teams just have 20, 30 team inboxes. And when you look at the giant list in the inbox section, here on the left-hand side, sure, it's a very long scrolling list, but it's really nice for the team, because when they get the incoming calls on their phone, or if they're on their computer and then they get an incoming call and it pops up on the top of their screen, they just know exactly why someone is calling. They don't have to guess why someone is calling. Next one is postcards. So I think Chase Whitney will be doing a session on this in the future. He either will use like a QR code or a phone number. He'll use a QR code to send people to like Real Scout, for example, to a landing page there, or you can use a phone number. And if you send postcards regarding like the typical price adjustments, just solds, or home valuations, or whatever, or if you send a fun postcard about events in the area, but then you have a phone number on there, you can have a dedicated phone number for postcards, so you know exactly why someone is calling you, so that you can have you don't just go blankly answering it going hello, and then just having a better upper hand into that conversation of why they're calling. Agent hotline. So this one's a little bit different. So far, everything we've been talking about is lead focused. This one's a bit different. So if you have an operations manager, or even better, a virtual assistant or database manager, if you have a team of agents who are constantly like having to go out of office, or they're busy or on vacation, and for a temporary amount of time are unable to take leads, you can create a team inbox that is managed by a database manager, or a virtual assistant that takes incoming calls from this to this number, where an agent can call in or text in and say, too busy, can't take leads. And when that happens, then that database manager can simply go into whatever groups or ponds, or just most likely just groups under admin groups and adjust the groups to say, okay, so this agent is in the buyer leads first to claim group. So let's remove Jenna from that. She just texted me she's unavailable. She's also in the buyer leads round robin. Let's remove her from that. And then if she was in the sales, I would remove her from that. And then the database manager or virtual assistant could set a reminder to add her back in for whenever she said she'd be available again. This is in order to ensure that their leads are paused and that marketing dollars are not wasted on leads being sent to an agent that's not available, and that if you're keeping agents held to a specific standard and accountability, that they are not penalized for leads they're not calling because they are out of office and they just couldn't. The agent is able to proactively tell the database manager or the virtual assistant that they are not available, so they don't get penalized for that. So the agent, when they call in or when they text in, they need to specify the time frame they're not available, when to start and when to stop the leads. So the team member is paused and they don't get penalized. Another example or use case is for a broadcast line. So this one is particularly useful either for an ISA or a team lead. Let's say you have a team lead who speaks to someone because maybe they're the brand of the face of the brand, and someone calls them directly and they're like, oh, I have the perfect agent for you who can help you. And then they need to find someone quickly who can help this lead buy a home in this particular area that they service. Or the ISA needs to transfer the lead because they need to schedule an appointment. What they can do is transfer the call to a broadcast line to a team inbox. So in Follow Up Boss, you have the ability to transfer a call. In this case, instead of trying to transfer to one specific person and then fail because the person is not available, and then you're making the lead wait a long time because then you're like, oh, that person was available, let me try the next person, and then the lead gets impatient. Instead of transferring to one person, you can transfer to multiple people by doing a broadcast to a team inbox. And so you would do a broadcast line to a team inbox where when the ISA says transfer and then selects the broadcast team inbox number, when those agents who have access to that broadcast line get the incoming call, they know this is not only a team inbox, this is a very hot lead because the caller ID is literally going to say broadcast line, and they know what that means, and they'll definitely have that speed to lead there to know this is a lead being transferred from the ISA or whatever that situation is from the team leader. And that way you have the speed to lead, and it's similar to a first to claim, except it's very high intent leads because it's someone on the phone right now ready to be transferred to an agent, ready to book an appointment with an agent. So very high intent leads. It rings everyone, and whoever picks up the incoming call from the team inbox gets the lead and gets the transfer. MLS calls. So this is something I had mentioned earlier. If you are tired of being bombarded with calls from agents on your listings, you can create a team inbox for MLS calls, and most likely you'll want to share this team inbox with your assistant or your listing assistant, where you can have this inbox shared, where if you get incoming calls or text messages with questions about the listing, questions to schedule a showing, questions about the property, you can have a team inbox that's shared with the assistant to help answer those incoming questions. That way, you can still be alerted when you get those incoming calls. You can see on the caller ID that it's from an MLS call, but the assistant can screen those questions for you, and then if needed, that assistant can certainly loop you in or call you, but they can be sort of the first layer, be your receptionist, so to say, to prevent you from being bombarded with MLS calls. Now, this one is something that I implemented late this year, about 3 months ago, in September of this year, where you can turn your personal follow-up boss number and email into a team inbox. So I turned that into this team inbox here in follow-up boss. So the way I did that is I went into my settings in follow-up boss, and I only recommend this for either the team leader who is really busy and needs help managing your inbox, or to top performing agents who really need a virtual assistant to help manage the inbox, and you have an assistant or virtual assistant that you trust to help you manage your inbox and can do so. So I went into my settings and I went to where my email was connected and disconnected it. And then I created a team inbox with a number. After I disconnected my email in my settings, I went over to the inbox I created, and I went to the manage button in the bottom left corner in the inbox section, and I went to the edit button here to manage the inbox. And I went to sign in with Google, and I'll do it right now. Sign in with Google here and logged in. And you need to allow it to view. Bear with me here. It's a little bit slow for some reason. But now that it's connected, or it's connecting, I have two other team members here, the customer success managers on my team, who have access to my inbox now and can help me manage my email inbox. So now my incoming emails will start to populate in this inbox. It might take a little bit here, but incoming emails will start to populate in this inbox for my Gmail that are now accessible from my customer success managers. Again, I only recommend this for those who really do need the help managing their inbox, most likely for the team leader or top performing agents. And I only recommend sharing your inbox with those that you truly trust to do this for you. So I'm only sharing this with our success managers who have been with our company for 3 years now. So this is not something that you just want to do this willy-nilly. You need to make sure that you have the proper procedure in place, that you have SOPs in place for the types of emails that are okay to respond to and the types that are not. And when you do respond, what do you say? You need to be very specific on what is and is not okay. And then you have the ability to manage the phone number here, where you essentially go into your settings in Follow-Up Boss and change your number in Follow-Up Boss if you want to do this. Again, you don't have to. But for me, I no longer wanted, whenever I would get callbacks or text backs from whenever I would make outbound calls or text messages from my personal number, I was only available an hour a day. And then if I got incoming calls or texts back outside of that hour, I was unavailable. So I wanted to make sure that if I got an incoming call or text back, that someone else was available to take that incoming call or text. So what I did is I changed my personal number to just some random number I don't even use anymore. And I changed I changed my outbound number to the team inbox here. So I believe what I did, it was a while ago now, and unfortunately I did not save the processes because I did it so fast, and I have a request out to get the instructions. But I believe what I did, I went to admin phone numbers, and I believe what I did is I swapped numbers here. I went to my phone number here. Where is it? I believe I swapped it with the team inbox I had set up. I created a new team inbox. I called it Elena's inbox, and I swapped it. I swapped my personal number with this one, and it moved my personal number to the team inbox. And then it put that random team inbox that I created and made that one my personal number. So I just did a flip-flop. I made my personal number the team inbox, and then the random team inbox number I created that is not used anywhere is now my random personal number. So I don't use this one anymore. This one is my team inbox number that is being used. And then what I did is I went to my settings and I went down here and I changed my outbound number from this random number that was generated from that team inbox. That's now my personal number. I changed my default outbound number to that team inbox. That way, when I make outbound calls or text messages out of Follow Up Boss, it's now coming from that team inbox number, which was previously my personal number. That when I get incoming callbacks or text backs, it goes to that team inbox. So to recap, what I did was I created a team inbox first, which I showed you towards the beginning of this session how to do that. Then I went to the admin phone number section. I went down to my phone number here, which was previously this 214-239 number. It was here. It was displaying here. And I went to Actions, Swap Number. I went to this drop-down menu and I selected this team inbox I had just created, which at the time was displaying this 956 number, and I selected to swap it. And when I clicked to swap, it moved the 214-239 up here, and it moved the 956 down here. Then step 2, I went to my settings and I changed my outbound number to the team inbox so that my outbound number remained the same. None of my leads know that my outbound number is a team inbox now because it's the same phone number they were used to seeing. The only difference is now when they call back, it goes to that team inbox that other people are helping me manage. And then, as I previously showed you, I disconnected my email from here and I connected it to this inbox here, which there we go. Now we've got my emails here. So now what happens is if I have drip campaigns being sent out from Follow Up Boss, that's still happening. That's still sending from here, this email address. But when I get incoming replies, it goes to the team inbox, which is where it's connected now to the ElenaKeeTechnology.com. So I know that was a little bit fast paced there, but I don't regret doing that at all. Now that I have more help, just as the owner of a company, as I'm sure your team leader, your owner of your company is super busy, they certainly could find this helpful if they haven't already done so, of finding help with managing their their incoming emails and texts and calls. They can share their inbox and Follow Up Boss by connecting their email in the team inbox and by swapping their personal number to now be the team inbox number. So to recap, the team inbox 9 use cases: Google LSA, Google Business Profile, sign calls, radio ads, TV billboard, postcards, agent hotline for whenever an agent is not available, broadcast line if you need to transfer a call, MLS calls, and then if you're a busy agent or team leader, disconnect your email and your phone number and turn it into a team inbox. Hope y'all found this helpful. And as always, let us know if you have any questions. And I would also love to hear of any other use cases y'all use team inboxes for anything I did not mention. I'm always looking for creative ideas for what y'all are using it for. Take care and happy holidays.